Okay, so in this problem, we are going to be arranging people into theater seats, adjacent seats. So it says Princess William and Duchess Kate are attending the award-winning play War Horse with their guests David Beckham and Elton John. They will be sitting in 4 adjacent seats. Use this information in exercises 35 through 38. You may wish to draw tree diagrams or seating diagrams to better understand how to find your answers. And so 35 says arranging seating in a theater. In how many ways can the 4 people be seated? So here's the thing. You have to be systematic in counting all the different combinations, okay? So we're going to do kind of like a table. It's kind of like a tree diagram, but maybe without the branches. So let's look at seat 1, and let's assume that we've got, and so here are our 4 people, right? Our 4 people are William, so we'll call him W. And then we've got Kate, so she's going to be K. And then we have David Beckham, so he's going to be David, D for David. And then we have Elton John, so we have E for Elton. Okay, so let's just use those for ease, right? And so here we are, the 4 seats are arranged here, they're next to each other. And so the first possibility is that we have William right here in the first seat. And then right next to him, maybe Kate is here, okay? And then right next to her, David is here. And then that just leaves Elton. Okay, very good. Okay, now, what I will do here usually when I'm making these lists is change just one thing at a time. So let's leave William in his seat. And let's leave Kate in her seat. But now let's switch these 2. Because that's another combination, right? That's another possibility. Okay, cool. All right, then let's leave William in his seat. But now let's move Kate, right? So let's have David be here next to him. And now we have Kate. And then we have Elton. Okay, good. And then let's leave William here. David's going to stay here. And now let's switch these 2. Okay. So you see what we're doing? We're just keeping you got to do them in an order that you can keep track of. Okay, let's leave William here. And now instead of having Kate or David, we've got Elton. Kate's next to him. David is next to him. And then let's do the other combination, the other possibility. Boom. Okay, cool. So we've really done all of the possibilities now with William in the first seat. I hope that makes sense, right? There's no other ways for us to seat this 4 people with William in the first seat. So we ended up with 6 of those, right? 6 combinations, or, 6 arrangements. How's that? All right. Arrangements. Okay, with William in the first seat. So let's now put Kate in the first seat. Okay, and so maybe William is next to her, then David, then Elton. I bet you might be already starting to figure this out, how we can make this easier. Okay, I'm going to move down my screen here a little bit. Okay, so, and then there's Kate, and we'll leave William alone and switch out Elton and David. And then there's Kate, and now let's put David next to her, William and Elton. And then there's Kate, and then leave David and switch these 2. And now let's leave Kate there, and now we need Elton next to her, William and then David, Kate, Elton, David, and then William. How many more for Kate in the first seat? Oh, 6 of them, right? 6 arrangements. Okay. Alrighty, well then, I bet you can tell that there will be 6 with David in the first seat and 6 with Elton in the first seat, right? Well, so I'm going to pause and just list them because we might need these arrangements to answer the other questions. Okay. Okay, so I went ahead and listed all the arrangements, and if you now have thought this through and realize that we can arrange 4 people in 24 different ways, you are right. And we listed them all below, right? Okay, very systematically. That's the main thing I want you to learn about this. You have to be really systematic and really think things through. Okay, now it says here, in 36, how many ways can the 4 be seated if the royal couple sits next to each other? So that means we want W and K next to each other. So let's get a highlighter out and let's just look. All right, so here's one there, W and K next to each other. We're looking for W to be next to K, right? There. Let's see, make sure I don't miss any. Here's another one. Here's another one. Right? So we want the royal couple next to each other. So we need W to be next to K. All right, let's see this one. And that one. Oh, and these two. Boom. So it's looking like there are 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed some. I missed these. Okay, these two. Okay. Let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 11 and 12. So 12 ways. Okay, and you see, once you had your listing, you're just basically looking at your listing and counting to get the answers. Okay, all right, so 12. Whoops. There we go. In how many, so I'm going on to the next one. In how many ways can the 4 people be seated if the royal couple sits in the center 2 seats? All right, different color here. Center 2 seats. Let's look. Center 2 seats. Oh, here's one. Center. 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 Looks like we only have 4 ways to do that. So only 4 ways to do that. Okay. Very good. 4 ways. And the last question, in how many ways can the 4 be seated if Elton John sits between William and Kate? So we're looking for W, E, and K, right? So, whoops, there's one. Whoops, right there. There's one. W, E, and K. There's one. Okay, and where else? Can we find them? Oh, here's one. Here's another one. Elton John between the 2, right? Okay, here's another one right here. W, E, and K. And here's another one. And that looks like that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ways. All right. I hope this helped.